Hello and welcome to our new podcast, Nothing in Particular. As the name suggests, we're going to be talking about nothing in particular. Mostly silly little things which we've seen or heard of. I'm Dario and this is Gary.
Yo,
And we're always looking for new matters to discuss.
because it saves us scripting the show in advance, which is quite tedious and painstaking. But anyway,
Yes, indeed. It saves us a lot of effort, basically.
it saves us any effort, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So if you want all the effort to be yours and send in something to talk about, or even if you have any questions, you can email them to us at nothinginparticularpodcast@gmail.com.
Right, and today, as we have just started up and we've not got any emails to discuss, we've decided to discuss a little gem that was spotted by Dario during one of his unemployed eras.
Ongoing.
And it's Sherlock Holmes, but with a twist. This time he's fighting crime in the 22nd century. It's a cartoon, isn't it?
I believe it is a cut.
It is.
Unless live action is looking more two-dimensional than
No,
usual.
but you're saying two-dimensional. Actually, just we're reading this, right? And it's actually filmed partly in CGI as well. So
Oh. The 22nd century has come indeed. Yeah. So we've done a bit of research on this. Well, a bit is an overstatement. We've been and research is also an overstatement since we've been using Wikipedia as in the manner of sexed up dossiers and that word was dossiers.
dossiers.
Yeah.
How cosmopolitan of you.
Uh-huh. Yes, and it would appear to be the brainchild of Scottish TV producer Sandy Ross, and he came up with the idea while he was skiing in Aspen.
Skiing in Aspen, coming up with an idea for a cartoon. Now that's quite impressive. He must be quite the producer to do that.
How many ideas have you come up with while skiing in Aspen?
Well,
Was that how this podcast originated?
yeah, I was out, I was with the boys from the country club. I mean, how did Sandy Ross come up with it? It was in some kind of men's downhill skiing competition and think to myself, who'd be able to do this? Sherlock Holmes.
I think as a producer with STV, a downhill competition with his colleagues would be quite apt.
Elementary, my dear Dario, as Sherlock Holmes himself would say.
Right, okay. He never said that.
He's fucking Sherlock Holmes, of course, he said that.
Oh, he's fucking Sherlock Holmes, but he never said elementary, my dear Watson.
Have you actually read the books? If you read the books, you would know that.
No, if you had read the books, you would know he would never have said that.
Shut up. Anyway, let's get the show on the go. First of all, we'll just run through the theme tune if you don't mind. It's bloody awful. Have we got a clip of the theme tune here?
I believe we do.
Right, give me just 1 second.
Sherlock Holmes back to life. Back to life.
It's elementary.
What? Did you hear that? Whoa. Right, wait, stop that right there. Did you hear that?
I did hear it, but this is the brainchild of Sandy Ross.
I know, but listen, can we just come back to that bit once again? Wait for it.
Sherlock Holmes back to life.
Hang on.
Back to life.
It's elementary, my dear.
Elementary, my dear Watson, I told you.
I don't think the books included, by the same token, I don't think they included a sort of bad neck-ease trans theme.
Moriarty, up to no good as usual.
He just never learns.
It's like Shredder for the turtle. You think after a while they just shake it out, And
Shut
then
up!
again.
Shut up!
Right, so that's the theme tune. It's very entertaining. Right, Dara, do you want to give us a rundown of the plot?
I'd like to give you a rundown of what little plot there is. It's, as you've guessed, it's the 22nd century, and it's got hover cars in it, and there's been a wave of crimes committed by a rogue scientist called Martin Fenwick.
It's not a very villain name. He sounds like a fucking mortgage broker.
He sounds like a cunt.
Maybe that's why he took the life of crime. Maybe everyone just spent years taking the piss out of him, calling him a cunt, then eventually was just like, fuck the lot of you. I've spent years being skint and brokering mortgages for all you folk, and you've just done nothing but call me a cunt.
It's an ongoing unemployment era.
Some turn to a life of crime.
Martin Fenwick, he grew up such a nice boy. Anyway, okay, the rest of this plot. After some investigations, Inspector Lestrade, no, Inspector Beth Lestrade.
Beth Lestrade.
Sorry,
I
it's
know,
not that Inspector.
Obviously, in
Lestrade.
keeping with the quality of the 22nd century.
Yep.
You know, they've got women working in the police. When
Discovers.
did that happen?
Anyway, she discovers that.
We've just
Mortgage-
see with that last comment I made there. We've just lost all our female listeners. Sorry.
Right, okay, let's gloss over that quickly. Yeah, she discovers that Martin Fenwick, former mortgage broker's accomplice, is Professor Moriarty. Would you believe it?
my words. Who'd have thunk it?
I know. It's all coming together.
Well,
Okay. I don't know if is there much to the plot of it? Oh, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, and how he ended up in the 22nd century. In fact, let me just can I just ask, how did Moriarty actually come to be in the show?
Yeah, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't. In the clip we've got for today, we've only got episode 1 for today. But we do find out in later episodes that he was discovered in an ice cave.
In an ice cave in Switzerland.
And cloned.
And cloned. That would have been an interesting conversation. How did they get this surrogate mother to give birth to Moriarty?
Are you looking to lose more?
No, I just seriously. Like, could you imagine that? How would that conversation have went?
Well, I'm sure someone would have been willing to give themselves up for the greater evil.
Let's play this conversation out, right? I'll be Martin Fenwick,
and I'll be the surrogate.
He's
the potential surrogate.
You be the potential surrogate. The thing is, Martin Fenwick, he's French in this, right? So I'm going to have to. He's French. So. Well, right, I'll try. So let's say you're a typical English woman of the 22nd century. I'm talking.
I am a typical. I don't know what you mean. I am a typical woman.
Right. Anyway, bonsoir, my British chum.
Oh dear, it's the guy from Eurotrash.
What was his name? Antoine.
Antoine.
It's something along those lines. Anyway, how would you like to give birth to Professor Moriarty?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
This isn't working. We're not getting a conversation out of these two folk. But anyway, it would have been an interesting conversation to listen into.
It sounded like you were trying to, like, Moriarty was there with you and you were trying to get him to proposition me, but he was too shy.
Right, so now to fight the crime,
Fight the crime!
To fight the crime being caused by Moriarty, Lestrade, if I'm not mistaken, decides to bring another fictional character back to life.
Yep, and it's Sherlock Holmes. Funnily enough, that's what you really want. You know, it's if there's a crime fighter from 200 years ago who's been brought back to life, you really go. There's no real way of solving it without bringing someone else back from the dead.
But if you remember correctly, according to the books, Sherlock Holmes, he perished. But how could they possibly bring him back to the dead? If I'm not mistaken, there's a slight difference in this to the books.
Yeah. Shall we maybe play a clip of this?
We shall play a clip of this.
To the stolen hovercraft. In the history of crime, there has been no greater criminal genius. Moriarty met his match but once. If we are to save the modern world from his evil, we must bring back his most formidable opponent, the only man who ever defeated him.
Who would that be?
Sherlock Holmes. Doesn't look like much, does he?
Ambiguous. Please rephrase.
You see, Watson, the world...
Okay. The reason I've played that little moment of Lestrade deciding to bring Sherlock Holmes back to... No, mainly because she says, we must.
we must. I mean, like, how do you justify bringing someone back from the dead to fight crime?
And indeed, and the little change there. He died of old age. He didn't die from falling at Reichenbach Falls.
Sorry, Arthur Conan Doyle.
He's just got a bad back. Yeah. So, And also to fill in, okay, so we're going to play the moment where they resurrect Sherlock Holmes, but to fill in, earlier in the episode, Lestrade's watching watching the news, and in the last item, the kind of jokey item you get at the end of the news is the story that a scientist has been able to bring dead cells back to life. You know, just ha ha, isn't that cute, Christine?
I'd been other news.
Yeah, so we're gonna play the next clip of him actually being brought back to life. See if you can spot anything odd about Sherlock Holmes' preservation here.
Sir Evan, you're my only hope for stopping Moriarty. Only you can bring Sherlock Holmes back to life. I know your rejuvenation process is still in the experimental stage, but please, you have to try.
Very well. It is a challenge I cannot refuse, if only to reassure you I had nothing to do with this villain Moriarty's return. Good thing he was preserved in honey, or there would have been nothing.
Did you hear that? It's a good thing. Sherlock Holmes was preserved in honey.
Yeah, let's play that again.
It is a challenge I cannot refuse, if only to reassure you I had nothing to do with this villain Moriarty's return. Good thing he was preserved in honey, or there would have been nothing left to reanimate. Let's see how he's coming along.
In honey. Good
preserved-
thing he was preserved in honey, or there would have been nothing left to reanimate.
See, actually, on the Wikipedia entry for this, when I was looking at it, it's actually they took the influence because is it Arthur Conan Doyle was the author? Is that his name?
Yes.
Because he was a beekeeper. No, he wasn't a beekeeper. He made Sherlock Holmes a beekeeper. Arthur Conan Doyle was an author.
No, all the bees did the writing for him. He just dictated.
It's like the thing where you put so many monkeys and there was a million monkeys in a room. A million typewriters. They do the same with the bees. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes was a beekeeper in the original books, and also they took influence from the fact that I think it was Alexander the Great had his casket was filled with honey because apparently it stops corpses rotting. But you know, maybe on the outside, but surely there's internal organs.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it isn't as effective as actually cryogenically freezing someone.
But at the same time, you know, I mean, this doctor here is perfect. Well, not perfect. It's still in the experimental stage.
Who are we to question this?
Exactly. Surely there must be some kind of ethical problems behind that.
What do you mean? It's Sherlock Holmes. Who wouldn't want him back?
Well, Moriarty.
What I'm baffled by is how they got him into honey after he fell at Crackenback Falls.
Well,
Is this some kind of like Wally Wonka's like honey waterfall?
Well, but the thing is, they changed that as well. He lived to a ripe old age.
Of course, he lived to a ripe old age.
They completely changed the whole plot.
A ripe and honeyed old age.
A ripe and honeyed old age. I mean, look.
This is making me hungry.
Why didn't they just, you know? I mean, was he hoping to come back in the future?
Yeah.
was this his dream? Because otherwise, surely they'd just been buried in a graveyard.
Yeah, it's almost as if he knew he'd be needed in the 22nd century to fight against Moriarty.
Speaking of graveyards, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you once spend the night in a graveyard?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't correct you if you're wrong, because you're very, very right. I did spend a night in a graveyard. Almost not of my own volition, of my reluctant volition.
So was it some kind of sex type thing?
It had nothing to do with sex. If it had, I would be boasting gladly.
But anyway, would you maybe want to tell our dozens of listeners around the world how exactly you managed to end up spending the night in a graveyard? On your own?